All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Wednesday, June 12th, set today by Sphinx. That name is new to me. Is that a new setter or just my memory is failing me? Anyway, let's see what Sphinx has. Players count bung in shed. I think bung is slang for an illicit payment, a bribe. And so that's the surface reading, but could also, I think you can bung something, just throw it in, bung it in. Wow, that's a very tricky one. Players can't bung in. If there's going to be wordplay or charade, I can't think of short words for any of these, or nothing indicating an anagram or a homophone. Hidden clue. No, not seeing any of those. All right, let's try the downs. Dr. Livingston's first cousin taking on conservative for the final time. I have a feeling for the final time is going to be the definition. Doctor could be DR, MD. Livingston's first, I think, is going to be an L. I don't know what cousin could be. And then taking on conservative, making maybe Tory, which would make a good ending for a word. I'm thinking something like valedictory, something a Tory with an L somewhere, and then cousin. No, not seeing it. Dumb way to take heroin. Bear dumb. That's a sort of clumsy surface. Doesn't read well, unlike one across read very well. But this dumb way to take heroin. Well, heroin can be simply the letter H, so I think this is wordplay. And since we have dumb at the start and the end, I think that must be the definition. Away could be a street. Oh, there is that English slang term stum. To keep stum is not to say anything about a subject. Yes, so the way, the street takes the H, and then the final bear dumb is dumb without its outer letters. Alrighty. Now, does that help? No, not really. Yeah, unless is ERSC a word? Not that I'm aware of. All right, already coming back to take list. It's useful for shopping. Well, that seems like the definition in parentheses. I'm thinking a short word for already could be yet, and if that was reversed, we would have a T and a Y at the end. Oh, and I'm saying if you take a list of names, that could be a roll. Inside yet backwards is a trolley. The British term for a shopping cart, a shopping trolley. I'm not sure how many of my viewers are in the British Isles, or Europe versus the United States. All right, Sir Christopher's part of the hospital is on the quiet side. Well, I'm thinking Sir Christopher is probably part of the word play. Part of the hospital we often see ENT, which would make a nice ending and maybe meaning on the quiet side. Not silent. Patient, of course, for hospital. Sir Christopher, I'm immediately thinking of Christopher Wren went to dine with some men. He said, if anyone calls, say I'm designing St. Paul's. But Wren, yeah, I'm not sure about that. Nope. Kids hits on the radio. On the radio sometimes indicates a homophone. So I think it's going to be a word for hits. And I think it's going to be the verb to hit something or somebody. And it's going to sound like kids, which might be makes fun of rather than children. Kids hits on the radio. No, not saying it. Getting rid of former Russian presidents. No good for Middle Eastern Gulf. I think it's going to mean getting rid of. Former could be X, which certainly would be a good start to a verb, meaning getting rid of. Exhausting, knowing something. And I think we're going to get the name of a Russian president. Is it going to end in ME for Middle East? And we're going to change that. No, I think it's going to maybe end in a Middle Eastern Gulf. And we're going to put NG, no good, instead. There's the Persian Gulf. Is the Gulf of Aden? But is there some Russian president who ends in IADEN? I just think of Yeltsin. Oh, of course, it could be Putin. If former is X, then it could be the current Russian president. But then Middle Eastern Gulf. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. All right, suggests lines to the audience. Again, I think this might be a homophone to the audience. I'm thinking of a Q, which sounds like QUEUE, which in the US is called a line instead of a Q. Now, it's very unusual to have, what could this be? That's E something C. But anyway, this one I think is Q's, a homophone for QUEUES. Tell star playing in clubs about refreshing keys. I wonder if it could be something escape. Well, I know Control Alt Delete for, in Windows to bring up the, what exactly does it do? The lock screen. Does Control Alt Escape? I'm going to just pause and double check that. Well, according to Wikipedia, Control Alt Escape keeps window always on top. So I'm not sure that's right. So the middle one might be something different. Control Tab, maybe. Anyway, I'll leave it in for now. But it does seem to indicate we are going to have an X. So getting rid of... I should think of that word, but it's not coming to me. All right, let's try arranged to spring a trap. Ooh, I'm thinking of set. You set a trap, and if something is arranged, it is set. Not 100% sure about the... Yeah, I don't know where to spring comes in. Yeah, not sure about that one. I'll leave it for now. Feel up when nothing goes wrong. I'm wondering if it could be grope would be feel up. But when nothing goes wrong, how would that be? GROPE. Yeah. Feels like maybe it's going to be an anagram of a word that means nothing. I don't see that. Politician takes a beat cutting out dead wood. Yeah, don't see that one. How about primate holding bird in both hands? Well, I'm wondering if both hands would be left and right, L and R. And with the M, if the bird is an emu, then we have a lemur. Did I know a lemur is a primate? No, I don't think I did. Let me pause and double check that. Well, the lemur is a primate, which reminds me of a letter that appeared in a local newspaper here, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, saying, well, you recently said that lemurs are only found in Madagascar, but I know I've seen one at the Fort Worth Zoo. And they had to explain that, well, really it's just they're only native or endemic to Madagascar. Anyway, that amused me. All right, there's the Livingston. I think the L. So then we might have 4 letters for a doctor, unless the whole thing means doctor. Oh, is there salutary, but is there another longer form of that when it's your final salute, so to speak? Not sure about that. Feel sick about one child's secret love affairs. Well, the surface of that is a little bit icky, so but I think it's going to be a word for feel sick, and that's going to go around maybe an I or A for one, and then child could be B or G, I suppose, or son or lad. And that's going to mean secret love affairs, liaisons. I think that might be it, because yeah, so here's our one's child. Yes, if you feel sick, you ail. And so it's not one word goes about the other around it, it's turned about. And so ail goes backwards. All right. Ooh, could this be expunging? Yeah, so I think it is Putin. But how is that? Getting rid of former Russian presidents, X, and then we have Putin, But instead of T, or is it instead of TIN? No, I think it's just instead of T. The middle letter of Eastern. Okay, so the T that's in the middle of Eastern is replaced by NG. So we get Punjin, and then Gulf. Apparently you can abbreviate simply to G. All right. Now our politician takes a beat, cutting out dead wood. I wonder if it could be a copse. Could be a wooded area. Politician takes a beat. I think we're going to have some word or words, and we're going to remove dead. Takes a beat. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that wordplay would work. Now, I think hits could be licks, right? But how is that kids? Yeah, I'm not sure I get that. Otherwise, locks, lax, lux, locks. No, I don't see this. And then on the quiet side, yeah, so maybe it's not ENT, maybe it's A&E. No, not seeing it. All right. Big setback being 101 before your first club. Yeah, I'm not sure. It could be a big setback. Or no, maybe it's a club because your first is a Y, the first letter of your, so then maybe everything up to that is the wordplay, and then the definition is club, which could be a group you join, or it could be something you hit people with. A club. Yeah, not getting it. Revolutionary had a slip, taking out power plants. I have a feeling it's going to be some form of plant in the plural. And we're going to remove a P for power, maybe from slip. Maybe slip has to be anagrammed. But then what's the anagram indicator? Oh, maybe revolutionary had a slip. That's 8 letters minus the P. Doesn't leave us very good. Oh, but we do have dahlias. Could that be it? 5 down would end in a D. I quite like that. Yeah, I think so. I still don't know. Sir Christopher, oh, maybe it's another Sir Christopher. Christopher somebody, part of the hospital, is on the quiet side. No, not seeing it. All right, roast is missing hot stuff. I'm thinking this might be a word meaning stuff, which could be a verb. And we take something that means roast, which could be something like beef or lamb, and we remove an H for hot to get this stuff. No. Soldiers and last bit of egg sent back on tea tray. Um, Very strange combination. Soldiers and last bit. Oh, of course, when you eat a boiled egg with toast and it's sliced up into little thin strips of toast, they are called soldiers. For children, I think, to encourage them to eat an egg. So something, of course, there's so many abbreviations. I'm thinking last bit of egg is simply that G. Sent back on. Yeah, so do we then have NO reversed and it's a tea tray? Maybe some Italian or Spanish word for a tea tray? No, not seeing it. Bake Off presenter has posh trainee replacing a line shade. I don't watch any of those baking shows, so I hope we're not expected to know some of their names. I think there was one fellow called Hollywood, and then there's Mary. What's her name? Oh, and of course, Noel. What's his other name? Is on the Great British Bake Off. No, not seeing it. Cobble together a house in Washington. Well, Washington could be DC. Do, and then something ending in a C. No. Bad Luck. Dogs the finale. No. Partial fraction in theory. Is it a hidden clue? Partial. Yeah, I'm thinking I see ninth at the end of fraction in and the start of theory. So I think there's a bit of an overlap between the definition because ninth is a fraction, but we need the n from fraction to spell it out. And I think that's why the question mark is there to indicate that Sphinx is being a little bit cheeky. Normally for a hidden clue, you know, the definition would be separate from the wordplay. Sit back, it is a contraction. Oh, this seems very simple, and we had this recently. Tis is one contraction of it is, and it is sit backwards. Power wielded by king amidst reshuffle. That hurts. Well, reshuffle surely is an anagram. Amidst gives us 6 letters, and P gives us 7. So we need 3 letters for a king, I think. Yeah, unless power maybe is not P in this case. But that hurts. So some kind of pain or ache or fever or a break. No, how about tramps fuzz? I think it's a double definition. Tramp, of course, could be a vagrant, or it could be a walk of some kind. Like the old joke about the lady who says to her friend that she went for a tramp in the woods, and her friend is shocked. No, so I'm just not on the right wavelength with Sphinx today. I mean, the fault is on me. I'm not blaming Sphinx, but just maybe just not you. Not that I'm completely used to the other setters' styles, but there's just something very different, I think, about Sphinx's style. All right, how about upset? The First Lady is on a horse ride, half cut. Well, surely the First Lady is Eve. I'm suspicious of this the as well. The First Lady. I'm wondering if we have to put the together with Eve. A horse could be GG, but half cut. Is that the definition? Half cut would mean tipsy, right? But that also sounds like wordplay. So RI or DE. And so maybe it means upset. No. Nasty racist does solitary. I think this must be an anagram of racist does. So let's try the anagram helper. Oh, I keep doing that. My apologies. I have to click the shuffle button. There we go. Funny, we have the two S's. Accredited. I think there must be a vowel before the S. Yeah, I would have guessed the two S's went together. Ooh. Do we have ostracized? It's not exactly solitary in my mind. If you've been ostracized, yeah, you end up solitary, but I'm not sure about that one. Okay, up and down like second column. I'm wondering if 9 letters. I was wondering if maybe we have to solve the other clues on the left-hand side, and in the second column we would see something written out, but there's only 8 letters in the second column. Up and down. Palindromic, no. Nope. Ambassador on a date. What about back? Problem. Well, ambassador can be abbreviated to HE for his or her excellency. On a date, I'm wondering if it's going to be A and see, I'm thinking it might be headache would be a problem. But then how does what about back? Ah, yes, so A is A, date is D. If you say what when somebody speaks, you didn't catch what they said, that might be EH. And then about is circa, which can be CA or simply C. And so those two parts are reversed. I like it. Ooh, so now, oh yeah, this is our cobbled together. Oh, we do have a C at the end. Oh, add. Oh, yes. So it's A is A, and then house is HO, inside of Washington, D.C., and if something is ad hoc, it is put together without planning, I suppose. All right. Books, mid-October, to chase bull in Spanish City. Mid-October would be simply an O, which chases a bull in a Spanish city. So I'm wondering if the books is the New Testament, and then the O from the middle of October, and then there's a four-letter bull, and it's going to give us Spanish city. Oh, my knowledge of Spanish cities is very weak. Yeah, let me pause and look that up. Oh, well, I was failing to find a Spanish city, and then I looked at it and thought, oh, I wish it was Toronto. And then I realized, of course, bull in Spanish, and I'm sure you've been shouting this at your screen, Toro. And so the definition is simply city. Oh, I can't believe I fell for that of putting two words together just because they read that way. Goodness gracious. All right. Reading unknown, almost 1 Celsius above and 1 Celsius below frozen. Well, an unknown is usually X, Y, or Z. So is the definition going to be reading, or is it going to be frozen? I think we're going to have a couple of C's probably. Reading unknown, almost 1. No, not seeing that at all. Calling for Bill in this manner suggests one's unwell. Awe. My goodness. Calling for Bill. No, I'm not getting that. Fellow has to back student Raffles, for instance. Well, isn't Raffles a hotel in Singapore? But then I'm not sure how the wordplay is working. Fellow has to back student. I think the student might be the letter L, as in a learner plate. Student has to. I think the fellow is he, and it contains TO written backwards, so fellow has to back in crosswordese. Oh, now our tramps fuzz. Oh, I suppose plod. Ah, yes, fuzz can be the police, and so PC plod, and if you go for a tramp, I suppose you might plod your way. How is our soldiers and last bit of egg sent back on tea tray? Well, tea could be cha, and I have it in mind, I think in old books that I would read, maybe the characters are staying at an inn and their host sends over a charger of sandwiches or maybe a bit of egg. So I think it's cha, and then soldiers or the Royal Engineers, I think. And then the last bit of egg, they're sent back. Well, where is this R coming from? That I'm not sure of. Soldiers and last, no, I don't get that. Let me click the check this button. It is correct, but I do not understand that. All right, wow, so I made it all the way through and don't even have half the clues solved, so very tricky today, as yesterday's was a poor showing. Actually, this whole week I think has been pretty tricky. So now we do have 1 Celsius above. Reading unknown. Reading, of course, can mean studying a subject at university in Britain. Could be a reading in a religious service. Could be Reading, of course, the city. Is it a city or a town? No, what other ones? All right, I'm going to put in licks and then I'm going to click the check this button. No. Oh, cops was wrong. Oh no. All right. Let's have another go at this then. Politician takes a beat, cutting out dead wood. Now I'm going to go ahead and reveal it. Maple, okay. Oh, MP takes A. So that's the first 3 letters. Cutting out dead. Oh, beat, cutting out dead. I don't get that. Why beat, cutting out dead is LE. No, not getting that either. So now, of course, the kids are lambs. So young animals, I suppose. And it sounds like, I suppose, if you hit someone, you lamb them. I think we had lambed recently. Now, Sir Christopher Lanyard comes to mind, but I don't know why. Well, let me check dahlias just because I've been wrong about a few already. All right, not that. Or it is dahlias, so St. Sir Christopher's part of the hospital is on the quiet side. No, not getting it. And here's our not seeing that one either. Or that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to resort to wordplays.com to see what words fit this letter pattern. All right, I was looking for words with another C, and I see one canonic. And I like it just because we have almost 1 might be the ON, and then 1 Celsius below. But unknown almost. Oh, circa might be almost, but I'm not sure exactly what canonic. I think it means that it's part of the canon, right? Anyway, let's check it. No. All right, let's reveal it. Cryonic, oh, of course, for frozen. So reading, so y must be the unknown, almost 1 Celsius. So how is CR reading? Yeah, I don't get that, but anyway. All right, what does that do for our bake-off presenter? Is the definition going to be shade? But not seeing how that would work. Posh, I'm thinking, is going to be U. Trainee might be L again for a learner. Bake-off presenter is posh. But it's funny, the trainee is replacing a line, so I think it's a word. Maybe it's a word for posh that ends in AL. And instead we have a trainee. And it's going to mean shade, is it? Now I think I'm going to reveal this one. Mulberry. Oh, it's Mary Berry, of course. Yes. Oh, yes. So the bake-off presenter, you have to start with Mary Berry, and then in Mary, instead of M-A-R-Y, which could be read as a railway line, you put in your U and L for trainee. That is very tricky. And then the definition is simply shade. I think that's very unfair to, and it doesn't even read that well. I don't know, maybe it's modern. I know shade is slang for an insult, throwing shade, but just simply shade exclamation. And that, from that, we're supposed to get a mulberry tree, I think, some form of shade. I think they could have given us a little bit more for that one. Anyway, we get a nice B, calling for Bill in this manner suggests one's unwell. Oh, yeah, I don't know where to go with this one. I know some people call for the bill, or they used to, or in films, you'll see them say boy or garçon. Suggests one's unwell. I am wondering if it might be something to do with birds or something, like a calling for a bill in this manner. Or could it be something to do with sticking your tongue out for the doctor when you're sick? No, not seeing it. Up and down, like second column. We do have a U, and of course there's a U in column, but not seeing that. How about our power wielded by king amidst reshuffle? That hurts. Well, we have an O and a C, which are not part of anything I thought of. Yeah, I'm doubting that amidst shuffle, of course, it could still be, but anyway, what could be? So I'm going to pause and drink my coffee, which is getting cold, and see what two-word phrase might mean that hurts. Well, it occurs to me that maybe the definition is power wielded by king, and it's something like royal force or something force. But then I also realized I never looked at 27 down. Film about boring mathematical equation. Well, just because we've had film before where the answer was scum, that was the first word that came to mind, and I realize it is our friend circa again, which in this case is abbreviated just to C, meaning about, and that bores into a sum, which is a mathematical equation to give us the scum. Okay, so it's not royal. Ooh, and we do have an M, so maybe it is a reshuffle of amidst. And that hurts. With the fodder, what's a likely 5-letter word? No, not seeing it. How about bad luck? Dogs, the finale. Yes, so I suppose if you have bad luck, you might be cursed or have curse. And dogs are curs, and the last letter of E, the finale, is an E. All right. Boy, they're coming very slowly for me today. Calling for Bill in this manner suggests one's unwell. And now up and down like second column. Could it be something to do with a clock or a digital clock? Yeah, maybe it's a word that means up and down. Like second could be S or SEC. Column. What's another? Oh, like, of course, could be as, and then another S. Yeah, not seeing it. But I think I'll have a look at wordplays.com and see how many words fit that pattern. Very clever. It is referring to the second column of the crossword, but not the letters that are contained in them. But the second column is odd in that it's white, black, white, black. And you could describe that as checkered. And if someone has a checkered career, it is up and down. All right, well, amidst is looking like it's back on. Is it going to be MID, MAD? Oh, the Midas touch would be the power wielded by a specific king. So we have our amidst. Oh, and that hurts is ouch. Very clever. I do like that one. All right, now. Just because when English people say "oh," a very English expression is bless, obviously short for God bless, but if you've watched any British comedies or dramas, you've probably seen someone saying bless, but I don't get the wordplay at all. Calling for Bill in this manner. All right, let's check it. It is right. So I'm proud of myself for getting it from the definition, but I'm disappointed in myself for not understanding the wordplay. Of course, the Bill is the police, the old Bill. Calling for Bill. It's not Brian Blessed in this manner. Oh, of course. Oh, wow, this is very complicated. So if again, you have to refer to the answer to understand the wordplay. So if bill is be less, then it is ill. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this style of clue where you have to, where the answer really supplies part of the wordplay. I find those very difficult. All right, here's our Dr. Livingston. Yeah, let me look for this, and I think it is going to be something salutary, if I'm saying that right. Salutary. No, I'm not saying anything good for this, so I think I'm going to go ahead and reveal it. Oh, conclusion. All right, so it wasn't a Tory word. Dr. Livingston's first cousin. Oh, oh my goodness, I should have remembered that doctor can mean to anagram. So it is the L plus cousin is 7 letters, and then I think con. And if you anagram those, you get conclusion. Yeah, so very poor by me. All right, players count bung in shed. Well, cash might be bung, but how is that anything to do with players? Yeah, I don't get that at all. Let me put in cash and check this. No. Oh, players count. Bung in shed. Oh, shed might be the past tense, and so maybe cast. Ah, the players, the actors are the cast. Count. Is it a quadruple definition? Count bung. Maybe. I don't get the count for cast. Yeah, that's the only part I'm not getting, so we'll have to rely on 15 squared for that. All right, so now our big setback begins with S. Secrecy fits, but I don't think that's it. 101 before your first. Big setback being 100. No, I'm thinking there might be some obscure word for a club. I'm wondering if that might be 100 is C and 1 is simply 1. But not sure what this would be. Let me check that. No, all right, let's reveal it. Oh, society. I suppose a club is a society. So now what's our... Well, there's our 101 is the C and I. We do have set. Set back being 101. No, I don't understand that wordplay either. Yeah, I'm just not on Sphinx's wavelength today. Roast is missing. Hot stuff now begins with an O. Yeah, let me look at word plays for this. I suppose if you stuff yourself, you overeat, which is overheat, is roast. That's the kind of close but not exactly synonym that makes these so tricky. Um, yeah, I suppose if you're roasting, if you're very hot on a summer's day, you are overheating. You take away the H and you get overeat. Oh, thank goodness the end is in sight. Upset, the First Lady is on a horse, ride, half cut. Oh, upset maybe could be aggrieve. I think that might be it. Let's check it. Oh, hallelujah, I finally got one right. So AGG is the horse, the First Lady is Eve, and ride is half cut, and we just get RI. All right, then this must be grope, but again, I do not understand it. Up, maybe it's feel is the definition. Up when nothing goes wrong. No, let's check it. No, it's not. All right. Oh dear. Feel up when nothing goes wrong. Now I'm going to reveal this one. Goose. Ah, yes. I suppose if you goose somebody. Ah, so it's an anagram of nothing or O and goes, and they are wrong or anagrammed. Oh, yikes. Ah, now finally I can see this is on the quiet side of a boat, I suppose, would be the, or maybe is it an island? The quiet side is the leeward side. And it's, of course, Sir Christopher Lee, the actor, and then part of the hospital is a ward. My goodness, that was a very tough one today. Let me go ahead and check all. Oh, that's a miracle I didn't get anything else wrong. By my count, there were, I think, 8 that I got wrong or had to reveal, or both. Anyway, let's see what 15 squared has to say. Oh, before we go there, I just noticed now that when I revealed one down, it changed set to net, so that's another one I had wrong. And so arranged to spring, well, a net is a trap, but how is arranged to spring net? No, I'm not sure about that either. All right, today's blog is by Eileen. I've not even attempted a Sphinx puzzle before. Previous puzzles have been themed in a BBC TV series. Oh, Sphinx is Steve Pemberton. I am a big fan of the League of Gentlemen and other things he has done. Blogger's Nightmare. Yes, so yeah, I'm very... so Inside number 9 is his latest series for which he did a crossword not too long ago, and Cracking the Cryptic, I watched their video where I think it was Simon solved that, and it was a very good puzzle. This one I just found that was doable. Yes, anyway, I found it very tricky, but apparently it refers to other episodes of Inside number 9. Anyway, I've quite a few I need help with. Let's see. Like me, Eileen says possibly quadruple, but can't account for count. Yeah, that's me. I'm still not sure what Control Alt Escape does, but Telstar, and then with C and C for clubs and about. Um, okay, and 10 is what I wrote down, and Eileen doesn't understand it. Let's see, 12 is MP, round A, yeah, I got that part. LED beat. Yeah, I'm not sure about minus D for, oh, if you one team beat another, they led, minus D for dead. Oh, that's very tricky. Very, very tricky. 16 then. Oh, a reversal of oversize, of course, plus 101. Plus ET, and again, Eileen doesn't see how that fits. So I don't want to criticize somebody I admire like Steve Pemberton, but if a regular blogger for 15 Squared is having trouble understanding the wordplay, then maybe it's not just me. All right, I think I got the others. Yeah, Mary Berry. I should know Mary Berry. And so, yes, 29 was an and lit. Downs, I think there were just two. Yes, so it's an anagram of L plus cousin. Oh, and on C, okay. Oh, I thought it was con for conservative, but on C, all right. Stamm was a clever one. 22, then C plus R reading, as in the three R's. Yes, plus the unknown. Plus 1, yes. Plus 1C. My goodness. And then fellow is he. Oh, yeah. And then 2 plus L. I think I did get that finally. Ooh, that's a little cold from Tim C. Give me a real crossword any day. This felt contrived. Yes, this puzzle will prove unpopular. Yeah, sorry, Sphinx. Yeah, so very tricky. Yeah, so I think this will be divisive, all right. And another long video from me today, so thank you for sticking with it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.